Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about how to brand yourself as a coach, especially on LinkedIn. Now, if you've cracked open LinkedIn recently, you will see that there are thousands of coaches on there, and it can feel a little bit daunting to know how best to make yourself stand out. How do you do it? Well, here are 5 things that I have done that have really helped me to stand out and feel comfortable doing so. So without further ado, let's get into those. The first of them is perhaps the most obvious, and it's the use of colour. Now, personally, I like yellow. It happened by accident by buying a coat 5 or 6 years ago now that I really lived in, and I just happened to be recording my content or taking pictures for my content with the coat on, and I really liked the way it showed up on the screen. I thought that's just a little bit eye-catching and I like it, and I started acquiring more yellow garments. So it can be as simple as that. I even wear the odd yellow prop now and then. I've got my Casio G-Shock, which I'm sometimes wearing. So have fun with it. It doesn't have to be yellow, of course. You can choose any colour you like. A nice additional tip to this first one is just to make sure that the surround in your photo on LinkedIn is the same colour as the primary colour of your brand. You can do it easily in Canva, as I've explained in other videos in this series. So use colour, have fun with it. It's an excuse to buy some new clothes if nothing else, or have fun finding items that chime in with your brand. So the second one, I guess, is the use of distinctive props or visuals, and that can take many forms. So many people will have seen me appear in content with my dog. She's pretty distinctive, a big smelly hairy thing. I'm also often in the countryside around my home, which people are getting used to seeing. So people are associating dog, location, very often mugs of coffee in my hand. That sort of a vibe. It's how I live, which helps as well. But yeah, just relax into your own vibe around that and be consistent with it so that people get used to seeing you showing up in a certain way. And that way you become subliminally a feature of people's content scrolling. They come to expect to see you in a certain context and they associate you with that context. Thing 3 is a bit more subtle, and that is your own turns of phrase. You don't have to try very hard with this because we've all got our own way of speaking generally, right? We've all got things that we like to say that people get used to hearing coming out of our mouths. So I've got one, for example, which is grabbing life by the danglies. It's a little bit funny, it's a little bit cheeky, but I think it's really appropriate for what I do as a coach, so I often insert it into various bits of content that I use. Look hard in your own voice and see what you're saying, or what you hear yourself saying a lot, or hear yourself writing a lot, and just do more of that. Make sure that you consistently use the same turns of phrase in how you're showing up in your content. Fourth thing is be consistent with the topics that you talk about. If you start deviating wildly from the kinds of things that you normally talk about, linked to your client avatar, which should be really specific, then you'd confuse your audience. So talk about the same things. People start to get the idea that that's what you talk about as a coach, and those are the things that you help with. So it reinforces your positioning and really helps you to stand out because you become known for talking about those things. It cements your brand in that way. And the 5th and final thing is really own being a coach in the space that you coach people in. Put warm and welcoming energy out that you're here to help people with those kinds of challenges, and you'd be surprised at the impact of just deciding to put energy out there into that makes to reinforcing the energy that goes into your personal brand and how you show up as a coach. So there were a few things that have really helped me in branding as a coach. I'd love to know what you've done personally. Feel free to drop some ideas in the comments to help other coaches. And that's it for this week. I will see you in the next video.